Hi, and welcome back to Mind Matters and Mischief with Dr. Jim Shupak. I am your host, Dr. Jim Shupak, or otherwise known as Jim. That's what my friends call me. And if you're listening today, that obviously you are a friend because that means that you are a mental health champion. And my mental health champion friends always call me by my first name. We're on a first name basis there. So although the title is Dr. Jim Shupak, you can call me Jim. Regardless, we want to welcome you to the podcast where we dive into the matters of the mind, everything from mental health, self-care, mental illness, growth mindset, to wellness and self-improvement, but we always keep a life vest made of humor handy. Once again, I am your host, Dr. Jim Shupak. We're here to make sense of the madness and find the fun in the functional. So make sure wherever you are, unless you're driving your car, driving your 18-wheeler, driving your truck, or driving any type of vehicle, I don't care which one it is, make sure to hug your cat, dog, guinea pig, salamander, lizard, whatever animal you have. For me, sit down, relax. And once again, I want to welcome you to the show. Today, our episode's called The Triple Chord of Strength, and it's actually very near and dear to my heart, and I hopefully that those of you out there can get something out of it, because this is technically the triple chord of strength that allowed me to overcome. It was the basis of the overcoming the major depressive disorder, both times in 2001 and then again in 2021. We're going to elaborate into that a little bit, both on the technical side a little bit, but then also on how it assisted me personally, and I'm going to talk more about my personal experiences in utilizing the triple chord of strength, pardon me. So today, what we are going to be doing is we are going to have a conversation of sorts. Well, I'm going to be having a conversation. Hopefully you're listening in, but I'd be interested in, at some point, if you have any questions, sending them to me in some way, and then I'm happy to answer them. So having some sort of conversation. Many of us have been taught to avoid, like for a long time, there's really been like a silent wall, just some sort of wall, if you will, standing behind what's known as the sanctuary and the doctor and therapist's office. And many people feel that they have to choose one or the other. Do I trust God or do I trust modern medicine? But as in my case, what if there was never meant to be a conflict and you were allowed to trust all three? Okay, or both, actually, technically modern medicine and trusting God at the same time. Now, if you are listening today and you feel like you're drowning in a fog that you just can't pray away, now I get it. I've been there. I prayed and prayed and prayed, and God, take me or make me better. I don't care which. That was a constant call in 2001 when I was going through depression. It's because I didn't know how I felt had a name, and I prayed. I couldn't pray it away. But I do want you to hear this, that depression can make you feel like your faith in God is weak. It can whisper to you that if you just believed more or prayed harder, the darkness would lift. But the reality is often the opposite. It does take immense God-given strength to admit you're struggling and reach out for help. And that is so true, because if I look at myself at having 100% of my ability, well, the depression essentially took away 99.9 my energy, my ability to just exist, just to be who I am, just to breathe. And that 0.1% is all I had, and that's what I had to use to muster up that strength, just so that I could ask for help and tell people that I needed help. But the basis of today's show it's simple, but I hope is life-changing. If you haven't noticed already, we are complex beings. We have a heart, we have a soul, we have a mind, and we do have strength. Now, to heal fully, we don't just need one tool, but I strongly believe we need a triple chord approach: the spiritual grounding of faith, the biological support of medication, and the psychological tools of therapy. Guess what? You're talking to someone who used all three, and my therapist told me, and I'm very humbled to say this, that pardon me, I might get a little emotional, but in the 25 years that she had been a therapist, I went from where I was at, one of the worst she's ever seen, in about 7-8 weeks. Like, I had such a 180 transformation in such a short period of time. And she said that's nothing short of miraculous, that was the hand of God that was directing me. And there's no doubt in my mind that it was. So anyone who says that, you can pray it away, strongly disagree. And I'm a devout Catholic. I'm devout in my Christian beliefs and my Catholic beliefs. But you can't pray what I had away. It's just not possible. But we do actually, like I said, need the spiritual grounding of faith, the biological support of medication, And some people will argue medication, and I get it. I can understand where they're coming from. I just know where I am at. If I didn't have some supportive medication, I wouldn't be alive today. I'm not saying that to scare anybody. I'm just telling you that that is where I was at. I was at a point where if I don't get some sort of medicinal help from my primary care physician, I'm going to take my own life. Just being straight up front, I'm telling you, this is where I'm at, and I don't want to sugarcoat it. That it would be an injustice to you, the person listening, because I wouldn't be providing you the support, the value that I hope that you're getting out of this program. And as scriptures do remind us, a triple braided cord is not easily broken. Now, our first chord, folks, and the first one I love talking about is faith. And in the middle of depression, it can provide what we call the ministry of presence. It is the anchor that holds when the feelings are gone. And when you have major depressive disorder, you see no color. And I don't mean that you're colorblind. I'm just saying that you might, yeah, when you weren't depressed, you would see color. You'd enjoy life, what have you. But without it, you are essentially seeing, you have no peripheral vision. You just see black and white. There's no joy in life. I know. I was there. I get it. It often whispers to depression the lie that you are powerless, that you're abandoned, that God cannot help or save you. But faith allows us to reject that lie. What we have to do, at least in my opinion, is reframe how we see the struggle. Depression isn't a sin. It's not a sin. It's a form of suffering. And trust me, did I suffer? Did I suffer? Oh, my goodness gracious, guys. And it's not a woe is me thing here. This is just telling you that, yeah, I'm a happy, jovial, like I love life. If you would have told me in 2021, the summer 2021, like, Jim, why are you not acting yourself? Why are you because I had a chemical imbalance. I had a disease. And that's what depression is. It's not something that people fake, especially not a major depressive disorder. You don't fake that. You have to be you can't fake that. You'd have to be an award-winning actor, I think, to fake that. And especially for that long a time. I don't even think award-winning actors could fake that. But if you're suffering, folks, we are invited to rely on the strength that is not our own. And I'm going to tell you a story I probably told you before. Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. Indiana Jones's dad, Sean Connery, gets shot. But they do it purposely so that Indiana Jones goes over and gets the cup of life, which was used in the movie, that is, not in real life, but by Jesus when he had the Last Supper. And so they take people that wanted this cup and basically wanted Jones to go over, Dr. Jones, Indiana Jones, to go over and get it. They wind up following him across. Eventually they get there, and so they take from the water, and they took the wrong chalice because he hadn't chosen it yet. That Indiana Jones does. But before they get to that last part, there's a 3-part area that he has to get through, and one is I don't even know how to explain the first 2 parts. I'm more focused on the last part, so we'll get to that. Okay, watch the movie. It's a wonderful movie. It's an awesome movie. But he gets to what's known as the leap of faith. And if I said it too many times, I apologize, but it's something I really think you need to hear. And it's a leap I don't know how far. We're talking 50 feet, maybe. I have no idea. But no human being can jump that far. You'd have to be Superman and fly over, or Spider-Man, whatever. But nor here or there. But what I'm trying to tell you is this. When I was going through my depression, I had what was known as the leap of faith, because there's no way I would have survived long enough. My faith is what gave me hope that the medicine would work. My faith is what gave me hope that the therapy would work. My faith is what gave me that knowledge, that power, that things will get better. You just need to hold on. Hold on. What Indiana Jones does, if you haven't seen the movie, I apologize, but he says, there's no way I can get to the other side. He says something and he's like, yeah, it's a leap of faith. So he just puts one foot in front of the other. And then all of a sudden this bridge comes out. And then it becomes visible, because it was an invisible bridge. And that's really what faith was for me. It was this invisible bridge that became visible, and it didn't allow me to fall into that abyss. It didn't allow me to fall to kill myself, to be honest with you. It didn't allow me to take my own life, because I held on to that thread of hope. Jesus is holding on to me, and I prayed every day. I did my rosary every day. I pardon me, I learned about saints, actually, Saint Padre Pio, who was attacked by the devil every day. Saint Michael the Archangel, who with basically fought against the devil and many demons, along with a lot of the other angels, and cast the devil into hell. And I leaned on them through Jesus, of course, but I leaned on them because that's what those people had overcome. Those people, like St. Michael's there, pardon me, Padre Pio, and they leaned on Christ. They leaned on him. And I said, okay, I need something that I can hold on to. And that's really what it was. And it was just beautiful. When I talk now, man, I shouldn't be alive. I'll be honest with you. Like, call me Whiskers, because I truly believe I have 9 lives. And that's part of the reason why I want to have this show, is to tell you that, lean in your faith, guys. I'm telling you, and if you don't have faith, and I get it, like, you might be angry at God for some reason, and just know that I care about you. Know that the reason that this show is going on is because of God. He's working through me, the Holy Spirit, to bring this show to you. If it weren't for him, I wouldn't be alive today. So I believe that this is really my calling. And if I could do this as a full-time gig, trust me, and speak to audiences about just mental health, and that I love teaching, but that would be the icing on the cake, because this is really what I absolutely love to do, because my hope is that it's providing hope to you. Now, pardon me, I digress. Sorry about that, but really we need to see that, really, guys, it's important that first, that we shouldn't allow the world to define what is quote unquote healthy or normal. And you look at scripture, to define what it means to walk in peace and purity before God, even when the path is uphill, and you have to lean into him, and lean into the people that he put in your life, because there's this great, I don't know the exact saying, so I'm just going to tell you based on what I know. There was, say for example, there's this flood, and a guy's praying, a ship comes, or not a ship, like a boat, little towboat or something. Guy, come in the boat, we'll rescue. He doesn't. He's like, no, 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 God will save me. So, okay, so the guy goes back. So now the water's gone up more and more and more, and now he's on top of close to the roof, but it's not quite that far. It's like on the second floor, and then a motorboat comes by and says, "Hey, get in the boat. We'll save you." He's like, and the guy says, "No, no, 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 no. I'll wait for God to. I'm praying, and he'll come save me." Well, now the river has basically overtaken his house, and he's on top. He's on the roof, and they say, actually, they don't say it, it's a helicopter comes, and he says, "Hey, get up, come on, like jump up the ladder here." And he says, "No, no, no, thank you, but God will save me." Now the guy dies. Okay, he drowns, goes up to heaven. He asks God, "God, I was praying for you, and why didn't you save me?" He says, "Well, I sent you the rowboat, I sent you the motorboat, and then I sent you the helicopter. So I sent you 3 different things. What the heck do you expect?" So that's one of the ways. So what I'm saying is this: like, my primary care physician, and we're going to talk about that next. She was like God was working through her. The same with my therapist. So that's kind of what I'm telling you. So, like, faith, it can also work through the people that are here and that are working with you. And I've been blessed to have some of the best ones. Now, I want to talk about the second chord, which oftentimes is the most misunderstood, and that's medication. Now, I know some people might disagree with medication, antidepressants. In fact, some antidepressants, they even say, will make you feel worse. And that's true based on my understanding, not on my own experience, but on my understanding and talking to people who have tried different medications. So I think it's important that you also evaluate that. So if you do take medicine, then all of a sudden you get worse suicidal thoughts, or you do get them and you didn't have them before, talk to your primary care physician or go to the ER immediately, because those are people that can help you to change that medicine and then try a different one. I was fortunate with the medication that I took. It didn't cause me any issues. It actually has helped me, and I've taken it, the same one, twice. Now, the reason I'm not really saying it too much as far as which one it is because you might try it if you need it, and it might not work for you. In fact, I have a friend who tried it and it made him far worse. So for me, it worked well. The brain is a mysterious thing, my friends. Mysterious. I mean, and this particular medicine worked for me. But sometimes, and as in my case, sorry, The darkness is just so deep that the brain's chemistry is just off balance. And that's what mine was. I had a, chemical imbalance. So these moments, guys, you can't reason your way out of it. So it's not like when the Eagles lost the Super Bowl a couple years ago, where I was like, a little depressed, a little down, but I'm not going to hurt myself. I'm not going to, just down. That's all. But you can't reason your way out of it because the tools to reason your brain are struggling, physically struggling. And what medication does in this case, and again, I'm not going to, it's not an argument against medication or for whatever, just for me, what worked. And if you have depression to this degree, suggestion would be to talk with your primary care physician about it. But in my case, medication was like a leveler. Like it's not a happy pill, doesn't delete or get rid of my problems. Basically, it was a tool, it was a mechanism, and it cleared the fog in my brain so I could actually engage with my faith, engage with my therapist, who we're going to talk about next. So I could engage with close family and close friends because I really didn't want to see anyone at that point in time. The big thing is ending the stigma of medication, of mental illness, of therapy. Like if a person with diabetes can use insulin to manage their body, why should we feel shame if someone is using medicine to manage a physical illness in their brain? Same thing goes, I wear contacts. So should I be embarrassed to put my contacts in so I can see better? So a couple things, if you have a headache, can you just wish your headache away? Many times people take medicine for it. I have epilepsy, seizure disorder. Take a medicine for it. Okay. So same thing. So it basically levels the playing field, and it hopefully will get your brain, your serotonin level, everything up to par. And it does take time. It does take 2 to 3 weeks minimum. And in my case, the second time, it took probably about 8 weeks. It was not good. But so sometimes people find themselves really, and I did, in such extreme darkness that you just can't think clearly. And I couldn't. One example would be the day before my wife's birthday. I forgot to get her a present because I couldn't think clearly. I was just trying to survive. So when you get to that day before, I'm like, holy crap, Shannon's birthday tomorrow. So I went on Amazon, had something delivered for the next day. But usually I would order something well in advance. I was just looking to survive, just looking to get to the next minute, the next hour, the next half hour, the next day, the next whatever. So yeah, sometimes medication is a gift, and it can help you pull you back to a place where you can begin to finally see the light again. And now our third chord that I want to talk about. And in fact, it's ironic that we talk about this now because I just had this morning, and that's called therapy. So third chord is therapy. So faith grounds us, and the medication can kind of stabilize us. Like it does take some time. Therapy gives us some science-backed wisdom, some practical science-backed wisdom to kind of name, frame, and kind of brave our way out. It gives us like a pathway. It gives us a map if you have a good therapist, which I do. And you're not going to agree with all therapists. I will tell you this. Some people have told me, I tried therapy, didn't work for me. Well, how many times did you go? I went once. So you went to one session. Yeah. Okay. Therapy's like dating. It is. But you don't have to marry this person. You just have to get along with them. That's all it is. So maybe one person didn't work out for you. So you try somebody else. Like if you go out on a date with somebody, it doesn't work out, I get it. You maybe don't go see them again, but are you going to stop dating altogether? Okay. I'll give you a chance to answer that question. So what I'm trying to tell you is therapy can work. And in fact, I believe if you do give it an authentic chance to work, it will work. So a trained counselor, in my case, I have a licensed certified social worker as my therapist, angel of a woman. And she helps me to basically navigate the guilt cycle, the emotional wounds that prayer alone couldn't fully address. But it basically helped me to kind of overcome a lot of this stuff once my brother died, and then some things that had come back that basically my mind was telling me that I sucked, that I was worthless, that I should kill myself. It was just, and she's Christian, so I needed a Christian therapist due to the conversation that we would have. Simply, that was one of the big things. So I do have a Christian therapist. I'm very blessed to say that I do. Sorry about that. But very blessed to say that I have a Christian therapist, somebody who I can talk to about Christ and talk to about some of the different things that we can share regarding his gifts for us. But, she has helped me to process trauma, build coping skills, healthy coping skills. Like, for example, faith and therapy, they're not enemies at all. They share the common goal of alleviating suffering and finding a purpose. So, many people will find that professional therapy helps the supportive psychotherapy guys needed to handle life's pressure while walking in their calling. For example, with regard to therapy itself, like for therapy itself, for me, it has my doctors both times have kind of told me this. They said, the medicine will help you with your brain, it will help the chemical imbalance. But sometimes there's something that might be stuck in, it could be trauma that but it could be something that's stuck in the back of your mind that you've kind of like stored away and you've gotten out, but it still seeps into your mind here and there. And you may not realize it. But once you verbalize it and you get it off your chest, it feels as if you're getting that monkey off your back. It feels like you're getting, I don't know how to put it, but you almost feel whole again. And I know I did when I had therapy. I know I did when I had confession as well. And I, went to confession. My priest, but I also went to therapy with my therapist, and I still do to this day. Pardon me. I see her every week online. I know some people prefer to see their therapist in person. It's just more difficult, but she's out in Western Pennsylvania. Wonderful human being. But that's really the big thing, folks. I just want you to be aware of that. Yes, it can be getting better from major depressive disorder, getting better from any type of mental illness, and be a triple thread, a strengthened cord of three. Again, your faith, your medication, you're at least having a relationship like with your primary care physician where they can assist you with that to guide you through that. And then also with therapy, so on that note, guys, I just want to let you know one thing that I care about you guys. I mean, I'm trying to be as authentic as possible. I'm trying to share as much as I can. In fact, I apologize if you heard some dogs, maybe that in the background. When I record certain episodes, I do need my dogs close because it gets emotional. It gets very emotional to get the shows out. And when they are with me, they kind of can feel when I'm a little bit down or if there's certain things that might be triggered or triggering. If you heard that, I apologize, but just know that they are my angels and for my other therapists when I can't see my therapist that definitely help guide me, So it does, on that note, guys, this does wrap up another session of Mind Matters and Mischief with me, Dr. Jim Shupak. I hope you found something that stimulated your mind, maybe inspired a little mischief, although today wasn't as much of a mischief episode, but I do love putting these shows together for you. I really, really do. My goal is to save a life. My brother would have turned 50 this year, and it truly it helps me, and I hope it helps you as well. But if you enjoyed this episode, the best way to support me is to please hit the subscribe button on either Apple Podcast or Spotify. I'm still working on the YouTube issues. And while you're there, please leave a quick rating and a review because it generally helps new listeners to find the show. And you can connect with me on actually drop me an email, Dr. Jim Shupak at gmail.com. D as in David, R as in Richard, J as in Jim, I as in Indiana, M as in Miami, S as in Sam, H as in Hannah, O as in October, P as in Peter, A as in alphabet, C as in Columbia, K as in kangaroo at gmail.com, or you can also see me on www.jimshoopak.com. That's our website. If you do need, remember, guys, that your life does matter. People in your life would be destroyed if you left this world too soon. You are worth the help that you need to feel better. Remember, the 988 crisis hotline is available to you 24/7. If you need a quick session of hope, contact them. Furthermore, you can let your pet give you the unconditional love that you deserve. If you don't have a pet, you can rescue the love of a lifetime from your local pet shelter. Remember, guys, adopt, don't shop. The only thing wrong with a rescue pet is they have been let down by humans. Adopt a rescue pet and you can mutually heal from your trauma together. For My Matters in Mischief, thanks for listening, guys. I really appreciate it. Have a wonderful day. Stay curious, and I'll talk to you soon. God bless you.